Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Glamour. I'm your host Key Michel and welcome back to the show. So what's going on, everyone? I'm very happy to be back here with you all for another episode, and I also hope that everyone is having a great day thus far, as well as a great month of December so far. We are at the final stretch, you all, so I definitely hope that this month has been off to a great start so far. And I also hope that everyone had a great Thanksgiving last week with your family or with your friends. So before I dive in to today's topic and discussion, I want to let y'all know what has been going on behind the scenes. There has been some things going on behind the scenes, so I definitely want to let you all know. So if you follow the Key to Fashion Instagram page, which I'm sure all of you all do, you probably have noticed that I have not been posting for about 2.5, close to 3 weeks. And I took a little break to prepare for the final stretch and to also prepare for the new year. And the little break turned a lot longer than I imagined or intended for it to be. So I was on my personal page on Thanksgiving briefly, and something told me before I logged out of it, something told me to check my Key to Fashion Instagram page. So I said, all right, let me just type in the search bar Key to Fashion and check on it. So I typed the search bar and my page wasn't popping up. So I'm like, all right, that's really weird. All right, let me go to the bio of my personal page. Maybe it's going to show up there. And I went on my bio and, the Key to Fashion name, it wasn't highlighted on my bio. So I'm like, okay, that's really weird. What is going on? So I'm like, all right, let me try to log in. So I logged out of my personal account, tried to log into Key to Fashion, and it wouldn't let me log in at all. So because it was Thanksgiving, I said, you know what? It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to really worry about this tomorrow. I was so consumed with the Trini food that I was eating, and I was so stuffed up. I said, you know what? Let me think about this tomorrow on Friday. So Friday came, and I'm like, all right, let me check the page again. Let me try to log in again. And it wouldn't let me log in. So I'm like, all right, clearly something is going on here. Probably Instagram made a mistake and they took down my account for whatever reason, because I haven't been on the account for some weeks now, and I also know I haven't done anything wrong, right? And so I said, all right, let me try to contact Instagram. And I tried to contact Instagram and, file a claim. That's what I saw online, because this clearly, this happens a lot to a lot of people, because there was a lot of people discussing this on YouTube. So I found this information on YouTube and I was like, all right, let me try to contact Instagram. But when I would contact Instagram and I would put, the Key to Fashion Instagram account, it would say this can't be submitted because this Instagram account is inactive. It would say that. So I'm like, all right, if I can't submit this claim to Instagram to get my account back, if it's saying that the account is inactive, when I didn't deactivate the account, I didn't do anything like that, then all I can do is really hold my faith alive that the account could come back, right? And so I was pretty calm about this, but what made me really start to get a little anxious is when I really started to think about the community. I really started to think about you all and the community members and the people I gotten to know, throughout these years. It's been 2 years that I've been doing the Key to Fashion Instagram page, but still, I've really gotten to know a lot of you all, and I really wanted to get to know a lot of you all a lot further and in person. So it really made me really think about the community a lot. So I said, you know what? All I can really do is hold my faith alive that Instagram will bring my account back and that it will miraculously appear. That's all I can really, really, really do here. And so that's exactly what I did. I just, held faith alive that my account would come back, and that's exactly what happened, you all. The account just randomly came back on its own, and I'm really grateful because this entire experience really made me realize, number one, Instagram owes me nothing. It's a free account, and it really made me it really made me feel a lot more gratitude for having this Instagram account, and a lot more gratitude for being able to build a platform and a community on this free account. This app is free, so it really made me a lot more grateful for Instagram, and it really made me a lot more grateful for this community. I really was thinking about you all the most, and I'm like, man, like I really, have been building this community on Instagram, and I know that I always tell you all to follow the YouTube page, and I know I'm letting you all know that I'm striving to build the community there as well. But I really also want to continue to build the community on Instagram. I really gotten to know a lot of you all, and I'm really, really grateful for the growth. So it really made me really think about you all the most. So I'm really glad that the account is back now. The account is back. But that was what had happened, and also this happens quite frequently to a lot of creators and business owners. So I don't really know what's going on Instagram. I don't know what's going on, but I'm also grateful for you all as well. So I'm really grateful for you all as well. It made me have a lot of gratitude because it just, this epiphany came to me, like, Key, like Instagram is free. It doesn't owe you anything. And so it made me feel a lot more gratitude for this free app. But most importantly, it made me feel a lot more gratitude for this amazing, amazing community. So I want to let y'all know what was going on behind the scenes, y'all. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but this is something that happens to a lot of creatives and a lot of business owners, and sometimes they aren't able to get their account back. So I'm very grateful that I kept the faith alive and that the page miraculously appeared like I was hoping it would. So that is what I wanted to let you all know, what has been going on behind the scenes. So the topic for today, I'm really excited for today's topic, and I really, really, truly believe that you all will enjoy it as well. So the topic for today is fashion companies and brands talk a lot about empowerment, but do they do a good job teaching it? Are fashion companies and brands really empowering people like they say they are? So I got this inspiration for this topic on one of my daily YouTube explorations. I'm always on YouTube just searching, and I was searching and looking around, and I stumbled on this video of fashion editors of magazines stating what they like about fashion and what they don't like about fashion. So the title of the video intrigued me, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want to watch this. So I don't even remember what everyone said, but I remember what one woman stated, what one senior editor of a magazine stated, because it really caught my attention. And what she stated is she believes, one of the things that she does not like about fashion is that she thinks that a lot of fashion companies, they talk a lot about empowerment. And they talk a lot about how important empowerment is, but they don't do a good job really teaching it. And when she stated it, she was really honest about it. She wasn't saying it in a rude way. She was saying it, in an honest way. And you can really tell that she cared. She cared a lot about, the audience and a lot about people. And, I really, really respected her really being honest about this because, it just caught my attention like, wow, that was such an honest statement. And, there's also some truth to it, right? So I wanted to discuss that with you all as well. And I also wrote an article about this on the website. So many of you all probably already read the article as well. But I also wanted to discuss this on a Vintage Glamour episode because I know that, when I write versus when I speak, it's two different things. And also, I'm going to be sharing different things here as well. So I said, you know what? Let me discuss this on Vintage Glamour as well. It came to me and I said, you know what? If it's coming to me to discuss this on Vintage Glamour, I definitely know that the community will appreciate and also will value this topic as well. I really just wanted to discuss things that you all really will enjoy. So I know you all will enjoy this topic. So while I do think that some fashion brands do teach empowerment, right? I do think that there are fashion brands that do teach empowerment. I do also understand where she is coming from. And I do also think that there is a lot of honesty and, in truth, right, to her sentiments. I really think that empowerment is one of those things that people talk a lot about in life, right? People often talk about how much it needs to be integrated into our society, but at the same time, people don't always make an effective effort to teach it or to truly empower it. It's one of those words that sounds good, but it isn't actually always being taught or truly integrated. And there are actually a lot of topics in life, you all, and a lot of words that are like this. Another example can be mental health. A lot of people state how mental health awareness and support should be integrated into our society, how we should discuss mental health a lot more as a society. And although we are making a lot of progress, I can admit we are making a lot of progress. It is still a topic where people can make strong arguments, you all, that we aren't really doing an effective job discussing mental health, or we really don't really care about it as much as we say we do. So I call these things fluff language. It sounds good to say these things. It sounds good to, say how much we need to talk about these things, how much we need to discuss these things. It sounds really good, right? It sounds good. But when you really look clearly, people aren't really talking about these things enough. They aren't taking action to positively educate or spread awareness enough at all. There's no substance behind these words. There's no substance really behind these topics, which is why they are all called fluff language. They're called fluff language. So, I think that although there is a basic definition online. If you go online and you look up what it means to empower, what empowerment truly means, there is a basic definition, right? But I also believe that everyone has their own views of what it means to feel empowered and their own views of how they educate other people, right? In terms of empowerment. So, for example, when it comes to key to fashion, when you go on the Instagram page and you look on the bio, it states empowering you to make a fashion statement everywhere you go. But let's break that down. What am I really saying here, right? What do I really mean by that? So to empower you to make a fashion statement everywhere you go means that I am striving to empower you to embrace your personal style and your individuality, but with resale fashion. I am striving to empower you to feel confident about your personal style. I am striving to empower you to feel confident about who you are. I think it's very important for you all to feel empowered to be your unique selves. And I think fashion is a beautiful way to do that because that's how it was for me. That's really how it was for me. So my personal story here also influences how I strive to empower with my own fashion brand. And I think that is similar to a lot of other people, right? A lot of other people, their personal stories probably also influences how they strive to empower people as well. So if I go back to my high school days, fashion for me, it empowered me to embrace my own uniqueness, to embrace my individuality, to feel more confident about my personal style, and to feel more confident about who I was. And, around that time frame, I still had insecurities in high school. I still had my insecurities. But the empowering feeling that my style provided me with made me feel good about myself. It made me feel really good about who I was as a person. And it also reminded me that despite my teenage insecurities, that there is a lot of beauty to who I am inside. There's a lot of beauty to who I am inside and outside, right? And in return, you all, there's a lot of beauty to who you are. There's a lot of beauty to who you are, both inside and out. Both inside and out. So, I really do believe that this is a very interesting topic. I really do. I think that this is really, really a very interesting topic. And I'm also sure that this is also a topic that many people have their own opinions on, right? I really do. I'm sure many people have their own opinions on this topic. But I do think that the fashion industry as a whole holds a very powerful position here when it comes to educating people on what it means to feel empowered, because style is all about self-expression. And I also think that as consumers, if you want to feel more empowered by fashion brands, it's really important for consumers to support fashion brands that provide them, with that empowering feeling, that provide them with that ultimate sense of empowerment, right? And I also think that it's really important for consumers to shop intentionally, to buy excuse me, I'm over here going in, I'm going in. To buy clothing, that really speaks to you all. That's what I mean. To buy clothing that really speaks to you all. To buy clothing, that makes you all feel amazing about who you are, And I think that sharing who you are with your personal style, it also empowers you to, feel this amazing feeling. It empowers you in an indescribable way. It just empowers you in a liberating feeling. It promotes a liberating feeling within you to be able to showcase who you are with what you wear. It empowers you to feel amazing about yourself and to love yourself, no matter your body frame, no matter your weight, or no matter your age. So it's important that your favorite fashion brands, I should say, not just any fashion brands, but your favorite fashion brands. I think it's very important for your favorite fashion brands to make you feel empowered, to make you feel empowered to show your style, to make you feel empowered to love your personal style, but to most importantly make you feel empowered to love yourself and to be who you are. Because, your personal style is a reflection of who you are on the inside. So, it's really important for your favorite fashion brands to make you feel empowered to express who you are on the inside with your personal style. It really is. So fashion is all about living out your fantasy. We all know that. It's all about living out your fantasy. We all know that. It's also about feeling empowered, though, to express your individuality. And, sometimes I have these thoughts. I think about these things, just throughout my own life, that if more people in life, if they felt empowered to be themselves, or, empowered to express themselves with their style, or empowered to love who they are, I do believe that, the world would be a much more unified and positive place. I'm not saying the world would be a perfect place, but I do believe that, the world would have a much more higher vibration if people felt more empowered to be themselves in life, and if people felt more empowered to love themselves. Because the reality is, a lot of people in life feel the complete opposite. A lot of people really don't love who they are. A lot of people really don't feel comfortable to express who they are. And I think that, fashion is a beautiful way, to express who you are on the inside, and to really embrace who you are on the inside, and to show the world, this is me, this is who I am, this is my uniqueness, this is my individuality, and, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what anybody feels about it, as long as I love who I am, that is all that matters. I really do believe that that is truly, truly powerful. I really do. I think that is very, very powerful. So, to wrap this up, I really want you all to ask yourself these questions. I actually wrote these questions down, so let me get them. So here are the questions that I want you all to really, take time to really ask yourselves these questions. How does fashion empower me? So how does fashion empower you all? How does fashion empower you? How does your style empower you? How does your style empower you? The next question that I want you all to ask yourselves is, what positive impacts has that feeling of empowerment had on my life? Just reflect on this, reflect on this. That positive feeling, right? What is that positive feeling had on your life? That positive impact had on your life. Really, really think about that. Really, 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 really think about that. So I have a few announcements here that I also wrote down this time as well. I wrote down those questions, and I also wrote down the announcements, because I found that I would be like, what is the next announcement? What is the next announcement? So I'm like, you know what? Let me come Correct. Let me write down my announcements so I'm not here thinking about what I need to say to you all. And then when the episode is over, I'm like, oh, I should have said that too, So let me come correct. So the first announcement is that there are a lot of new articles up on the site, a lot of great articles up on the site. So definitely check them out. Once again, if you are interested in guest writing for Key to Fashion, please reach out and let me know. You don't have to be anxious about this. I state this because a lot of people, you know, can be really anxious about this opportunity and have expressed anxiety. And I also appreciate you all being so honest about that. But you don't have to be anxious about this. I won't be hard on you all about this. I always have told you all that I'm going to help you all. If you want me to reread your work, I can also do that. But you don't have to, feel, any type of anxiety or feel like, all right, I want to do this, but maybe I'm not a good writer. Step out of your comfort zone. If you feel like this is something that you want to do and you have that feeling inside, definitely strive to do it and definitely reach out. I will be here and I will work with you. So that is number one. Number two, there are new gems up on this site. So there are some new gems that are up on this site as well. Some really dope new clothing. So I definitely recommend that you all head to the site, the vintage clothing aspect of the site, and definitely check out the shop as well. Number three is please subscribe to the YouTube channel. So, I think, this is something that is... It's just, I know that it's redundant. I come through and I say this all the time, but I also think that this is important for me to say, especially because, I really am striving to build a community there, but I think also after me expressing what had happened to the Instagram platform in the beginning of this episode, I think it's only right. I think it's only right that I continue to promote the YouTube channel as well. I think it's only right. So yeah, that's all the announcements that I have. Only 3 announcements. And, I guess, I'll put a bonus one that I'll be back. I'll be posting on the Instagram page. I'm coming back. The Instagram page is up. We are back at it. And, I'm very, very grateful that, the Instagram page is up. But I'm very grateful for this community. I was thinking about you all a lot. Like, man, yeah, I could write an article. And yeah, I could write an email list. An email and put it out in the email list to let you all know. But I just think that social media is such a powerful way to really connect and also to build a community. And, I'm really, really grateful for this community. And, I have a lot of hopes and a lot of visions for 2022. And I can't even believe that it's about to be 2022. Like, I'm about to be 30 years old, you all. And, there's a little bit of anxiety with that. I ain't going to even lie to y'all. There's a little bit of anxiety. There's a mixture of anxiety. There's a mixture of, gratitude, a tremendous amount of gratitude. It's a mixture of living in the now and realizing that, I have time. My birthday's in February, but still I have to live in the now. And then there's also a mixture of nostalgia. I find myself like looking back to my childhood, looking back to my teenage years, reflecting a lot on my 20s. I am someone that, tends to look back at the past, be a very, nostalgic type of person. But I find myself thinking about my entire life, these past few months, as I've been, just reflecting on the 20s and, reflecting on my teenage years and just reflecting on my life. So, I have high hopes for my 30th year of life, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, man, I'm really about to be 30 years old. This game of life is a real thing. It's really real. I just was like 20. So I'm like, wow, time moves, but I'm very, very grateful because especially after, all we have all been through as a society with this pandemic, for me to even be, here right now, December 5th, I'm very, 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 very grateful, and, I don't take that for granted at all. So, with that being said, you all, as always, I really appreciate you all tuning in to Vintage Glamour. I really am so grateful for this community. I really, really, truly am. And, like I said, I will be back this week on Instagram posting, so, If you want to, DM me or anything like that, like I said, I'm not the best at DMs, but I am going to strive to be even better now because the DMs is a really great way to connect with you all, and I have connected with you all, a lot of you all. I have connected with a lot of you all through the DMs, and, it just made me even more grateful, for that, you know what I'm saying? Because, I really realized, Instagram doesn't owe me anything. But I'm grateful for what it has, provided and brought in my life, this amazing community. So I don't take that for granted, and I don't take any of you all for granted at all either. So with that being said, you all, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Vintage Glamour, and I hope you all have a great one. Bye now.